Hi Tila Jammers, how are you doing? Happy New Year. Can't believe we actually made it into 2021. 2020 was just taking forever and a day. And with all this COVID stuff going on, it has made it pretty tough, pretty rough too, with everything going on. But today I'm going to just update you on Tila stuff, and yeah, just a bit about me and how things are going. So, as you know, I started this whole journey with the Tila Jam brand in 2018. I had just given birth to my son. He's now 3, going on 4 next month. Can't believe how time flies. Um, but yeah, he just turned he was turning 1. Um, yeah, in 2018. And yes, I just wanted to do something. I wanted to create something. I felt I could, you know, support him to realize, mental health is important. And this is like in the future, I'm talking about, like when he grows up. Obviously, he can look back and say, "Oh, mum, what's this website about? What is the foundation of it?" And I could just say, look, all the things that we talk about, your emotions, mental health, your sexual health, and your general kind of feelings of worthiness and your confidence, the way you carry yourself, your personal development, and your journey into just generally being who you are and loving who you are is really key. It's really important, and that's what I'm giving to you. I'm giving you the kind of, what's the word? I'm giving you life lessons, let's call it, in just ensuring that you keep you safe and you guard your heart. But most importantly, you love who you are, and that's pretty much the foundation of Tila Jam. As we know, teal, which Tila Jam comes from, stands for Together, Express and Love. Um, so without further ado, I'll get more into the video and what this is about. So if I go back, I'm going to rewind a little bit. So in the new year of 2018, I decided to go on Facebook, and obviously there's a Tila Jam page, so I'm scrolling. I've done my posts for the day, and now I'm just scrolling on my personal page, and I find a advertisement for this app for mums, and it's called Peanut. Now, at first I'm a bit like, oh, I don't really know, but I download it because I'm like, oh, I'm interested. I want to see what this is about. And it's great. It's literally everything you could ask for in terms of support, encouragement, advice, and we are not qualified. We're not, trained or anything. Us mums, we do it from instinct. And some people call that a motherly instinct, some people call it, the mama bear attitude. But I literally feel like every human being has that instinct and that inner guide, through the spiritual side of you. So yeah, we're all on there, and it's really just about connecting women who are trying to conceive. There's women that are expecting, and in my case, I joined with the fact that I already had a child who was turning two. Well, he was one, but yeah, he was in that stage of developing. So yeah, I have my child, and I'm a single parent. So I developed my profile on there, and it's a simple download. It's free. And then yeah, I just join groups. So I think one of the first groups I joined was the mums with mental illness. And so that really just allowed me to gather like a lot of support in terms of when I had my low days, there would always be like uplifting messages, and I could even, post stuff on there. I also joined, because I live in London, so I joined the London UK mums group. So literally, like, there's thousands of mums on there, from all over London. So I'm based in South London. So I joined a couple of groups for towns that I'm based in. So I joined that. Obviously, if you look at me, I am Black British, but I also classify myself, because I'm very proud of my heritage, as Black African. And there was a group for mums of Black African and Caribbean heritage. I joined that. And literally, even to this day, there's groups being created. So I've happily created a couple of groups, which I'll speak to you more about. But I have really enjoyed the pleasure of meeting so many wonderful and amazing and strong mothers. We all have different issues, different ups, different downs, but the fact that Peanut allows us to bond, and now it's even more necessary to have that bond and that support network, because we're always at home. We're managing the home, we're managing the kids, we're managing just the general upkeep of everything, like everyone else but us. So I think Peanut is just that way of having that outlet. And sometimes, one can rant about the day, or, just open up about the pleasures of being a mum and the rewards of being a mum. I mean, I know in the last couple of months, I've just had so much fun with my son. He's at an age now where he kind of is like a boss, a boss dude, and he will tell me like, no, this is the way we do it. And we do baking, we do a lot of baking, we do a lot of interactive stuff, and he's becoming so much more independent. So not that, I don't want him to, be dependent, but he is literally coming into his own. And I think the 3 to 4 kind of age is where they kind of start to play that role, where they're like, I can do it, I want to do it. And it's just, it's just so nice to see him really flourish and really come into his own. So yeah, talking about the app has me all happy and gooey inside. I would just really love to share it with you. If you are a mother, if you are trying to conceive, if you are a mum to be, so if you're expecting, and literally the day you miss your period, get on the app and just be like, guys, I'm new to this, or I don't know about this. And yeah, it's full of so many questions and so much laughs. And I have met a couple of mums, obviously not last year, but in the previous year. So when I actually started, I met a couple of mums that were local to me. So I took me and my son, met up with a lady and her son, and we went to the farm. And then there was another lady that I met, and it was her child's birthday. Obviously, we'd been speaking, over the phone and stuff. And she's like, come to our birthday party. So, I went with my son to her little one's birthday party. And another lady I met on there, we went to her child's birthday party, and we also went to an African party in the park together on a separate outing. And literally these ladies have become like sisters to me. We mirror each other. There's so much that has gone on in the past year, and it's like we're like that, so close. So it's just really nice, and I'm actually expecting a baby girl in April. So really, really looking forward to that. I met my partner last year. No, the year before that, 2019. And yeah, things were just, it was like being whisked off my feet. We moved in together, and we just decided that maybe we should just go for it, and life is short. And Isaac would really love to have a little sibling running around after him. He's just amazing. He'll be a really great big brother too. So yeah, we took all of that into consideration. But unfortunately, we're not together as of the end of last year. Things just didn't work out. I guess it's my bad luck with men, and it's something that I'm coming to terms with, but that's also something that I'm leaning on Peanut for. My mothers that are also in same predicaments, over the past year it's been quite trialing in terms of relationships. So people are arguing over the most silliest things, and it's hard. But again, life is what you make it. So if one isn't willing to change or adapt or maneuver themselves into a position that is benefiting for everyone, then you got to either take it or leave it. And for me, I won't go into it too much, but for me, the best piece of advice I've been given is not to settle. I said before, I'll say it again, life is too short, and I'm not here on this earth, touch wood. I want to be here for longer. But yeah, I'm not here to just settle and go. I want to live my best life, like I'm 30 years old, and I want to live my life, live out my purpose meaningfully, and in a way that just supports everything that goes on in the world. I mean, we have issues with our earth, nature. We have issues with the way we communicate with each other in terms of like generation to generation, race against race, the government, the giants up there with the civilians. And yeah, I want to just be a better me. And so moving on from my deep kind of subjects, I have actually started a few groups on Peanut. And the first group that I've started is for positive parents and parents with positive partners. I hope that makes sense. So I'll explain it a little bit. So obviously I am HIV positive. Um, my partner is also HIV positive, so it's easier to talk to him. Obviously, we're not, on talking terms now, but when we were together, literally it would be, oh, I've got to take my medicine. I'll just be a few minutes, or we've got to get back because I need to go to my appointment tomorrow and blah blah. Oh, what's your appointment? Oh yeah, just got to do my blood tests and I'll be back and blah blah blah. So it's very easy to kind of shrug it off and not feel like, oh my God, is this person going to judge me? Or, with the stigma that's attached. So for me, creating this group for mums, specifically mums that are living with HIV, in this day and age, we're growing older. And even though medicine is performing at its best, we still have a lot of research in terms of people living with HIV in older age. And holistically, we're not looking at the bigger picture. We're not seeing like how else is someone's life affected. So for me, making this group, and I know there's loads of online groups that facilitate conversations and support people on that peer-to-peer kind of level. But for me, like the addition of being a parent is like very crucial. Isaac, my son, he is HIV negative. So he was born vaginally via the vaginal route. But obviously, because I was on medication, I've been on medication throughout my whole life. Well, yeah, not my whole life, but we won't get into that. But yeah, I've been on medication for a pretty long time. So my virus is undetectable, and that means that I am not able to transfer the virus onto him. Obviously, there's levels of that. I won't go into it too much because I don't want to confuse people or start a conversation. It is about doing your research. If it is something that affects you, or you're curious, or you're someone that knows someone, then yeah, do your research, and I will put some links in because I actually work for a sexual health charity as well. I work for Terence Higgins Trust. I started there last year, October. No, not last year, but the year before that. It all kicked off in 2019. I don't know what happened in 2019, but yeah. So aside from that, I also wanted to highlight that some mums are in, there's a word, but I can't remember what the word is. So basically, there's a term for people that are positive, that date people or are in relationships with people that are negative. So when one positive person meets one negative person, there's a certain term, and I can't remember it right now. It really is, that brain, that pregnancy brain, it's gone out of my head. But so I wanted mums who have negative partners to also join. because I feel like they also are, not because they're, infected, but they are also affected by the situation, where one partner is positive and may worry about the child, getting it, or how do they speak to the child about, sexual health. This is where the teamwork element is. It's not just down to them, it is a collective thing. So any mum that's in that situation, I welcome her on board as well. And Peanut is literally an app for every kind of mum. Like, there are mums from all over the world. There are mums that are expecting, so they're mums to be. There are mums that are trying to conceive, so they're doing their ovulation testings, or they're in IVF situations, or they're going through the surrogacy or advocacy, adoption kind of route. There's also mums with different abilities. So anyone can join, even mums with different sexualities as well. Everyone is welcome. So my second group that I've set up is called Inspiration for Education. And this group kind of got its inspiration from the fact that we have to be really, really invested in our kids' education. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care if you're a lawyer to, the street cleaner. At the end of the day, if you have kids and you're providing for your kids, provide them education too. We can do the work situation. Yeah, 9 to 5, come home, do the dishes, put your child to bed. But at the end of the day, there's going to be an element of, Mum, I've got homework to do. Can you help? Or I've got a book to read. I've got some questions. Can you help me ask them? And if we're not doing the extra bit of work and preparing them in a sense where we feel inspired and where we feel excited and passionate, they're not going to drive themselves and they're not going to feel motivated, at school or at college, or even, if they eventually get to university and land a job, and even slash the university. Some children, and I say children, some youths say, look, I'm not going to uni, I'm not wasting money, I've got the skills, I'm just going to go out there and graft and hustle and do what I can. So there's so many ways of recognizing that you have a part to play in your child's life when it comes to education. And in this time, we're also in lockdown, homeschooling, and finding it stressful because we've got to do a lot of online stuff. Literally, I have come across so many different Facebook groups and even activities that I've looked up on Google. I subscribed to a platform called Twinkle. And this was actually like 2 years ago. I don't know how I found out about it. I can't remember, to be honest with you. So I found Twinkle, and I'll put the link down in the description box as well. But yeah, Twinkle has loads of stuff that are based on the curriculum, and it's great because then at least you're following like a structure. So especially when they're young, they have to get to certain milestones. But I actually had a nursery teacher. I spoke to a nursery teacher one day last year, and she was very, very lovely like about it. And she just said, "Look, kids need to play at this age. Between 2 and 5, it's all about play and recognizing that it's not about the outcome. It's about, you know, how they engage with the session or the activity. How long does it take them to just switch off? Or what kind of language do they use when they're describing the activity, even after it's finished or during? It's about the process of learning, is what I'm saying. And so this teacher said this to me, and I really I walked away. Like, obviously, I dropped my son at nursery. I walked away on the way to work, and I'm thinking, wow, that's actually amazing. Like what she's just said, like it's not about the outcome, it's about the process of learning. And if I'm honest with you, we are always learning. We need to evolve. We need to constantly reevaluate what we're doing. That's why come January 1st, it's all about, oh, New Year's resolutions. And then 3 months down the line, it's like, don't really know whether I've, hit the mark and stayed dry if you're quitting alcohol, or, lost the weight if, you're dieting or whatever. It's about that process of learning and encouraging yourself and motivating yourself and finding ways of mediating those obstacles that make you want to drink or that make you want to eat, or even the opposite, like that make you just not engage in certain activities to make sure that you're healthy. It's all a process of learning, and once you've got to that stage where you've learned and you've said, oh, I'll come away from that situation, or look, it's end of 2020 and I managed to do the whole year sober, obviously fast forward, this is a New Year's resolution, a New Year's resolution. So if we're thinking about in a year's time where we want to be, this is an achievement that we want to make. We need to set up, steps for these goals, and that's where the process of learning comes in. And when you get to that stage where you've said, okay, yeah, I've made it, I've done it, you can review and you can reflect and say, well, I remember I went to that party and there was my favorite food and I didn't indulge because I knew if I did that, then I'd put on a bit, or that might tempt me to just go and whilst I'm doing the shopping, I might as well, I had a little bit, at that party or with so and so, and it won't hurt. So when you learn not to do something, or when you learn how to encourage yourself to what's it called? When you learn to kind of encourage yourself to be better at tackling or managing or coping with like an addiction, for example, that's where the learning starts and that's where the change is. So I've gone into stuff there. The third group that I've made, which really touches base with everything that is being a parent, is called Better Me equals Better You. So this group is really for people or mums that see themselves and say, you know, they want to develop, they want growth, they want change. And they're not just doing this for themselves, but they're doing this because it's in hopes of encouraging better life habits, and not encouraging repeat, you know, behaviors. And we all know parents are, you know, defining role models in society. We all know that our parents have done certain things, and so it's up to us, it's our responsibility to change. Um, it's not always easy because, like I just said, our parents are our defining role models. Like, we look up to them from the day we're born and throughout, pretty much. So, yeah, those are the three groups that I've set up. I will leave a link for you if you have anyone that wants to join, anyone you know that is a mum, or you yourself are a mum and you're looking for some online support at this time. It will be great to have you join the Peanut Club. And yeah, just look forward to seeing you. And yeah, if you do get on there, just look me up and we will connect. And yeah, it will be a blast. Look forward to sharing the positive mama vibes. With all that said, I'm going to love you and leave you because I've been talking for ages. And yeah, hopefully I will try and get back into the swing of posting again. But yeah, take care and remember to love what you choose and choose what you love.